morning. I'm Dee, your city girl gardening, and I have finally got the time to sit down and reflect over my 2023 spring and summer and 2023 fall and winter garden. Here in South Carolina where I am gardening zone 7B and 8A. So when I go to the Farmer's Almanac gardening calendar and put in my zip code, I'm able to use things from garden zone 7B, 7B, as well as 8A, when starting my seeds and planning for my garden, whether it's in the spring, summer, fall, winter gardens. I'm sitting here with my garden notebook that I did make. I took a 3-ring binder. I printed off, I found a little template, printed off the little template. It just says Black Girls with Gardens. And I did that for the front cover as well as for the back cover. Inside my binder, I do have some subject dividers. I found some templates that have information that talks about the different gardening zones. Here I have the information for Garden Zone 7. You see over here I do have stuff for South Carolina certified, because I am South Carolina certified, because I do produce vegetables and crops here in South Carolina. They are homegrown here in South Carolina. I do preserve some of my crops by canning, and I do sell some of my vegetables. So I am South Carolina certified to do so as well, and I do have the signage that says that I am South Carolina certified, that I do grow and produce homegrown South Carolina products and crops. So here again, I do have information about the gardening zone 7 as well as gardening zone 8, because again, like I stated, here in South Carolina where I'm located, I am garden zone 7B and 8A. But this is my garden journal. I found this template online and I printed it out. It came with a lot of little sheets in it where I can write down my the progress of my garden. Each season, it has in here the spring, summer, winter, fall. It has things such as, plants that I harvested this season, plants I plan to harvest next season, what did I like about this season, what worked for me, what would I do next season. And each season I do fill out the sheets regarding my different gardens. Here, this is my spring, summer, and garden of 2021. And I wrote down the different crops that I did. I wrote down the plants that I wanted to try next season, which would have been my fall and winter garden of 2021. I wrote down what things worked that season for me and things that I would do differently next season. I did it as well for my 2022 moving forward, and so that's where I am with my reflection. What I learned this spring and summer. Well, this summer we had some really hot temperatures. The temperatures this summer were really just, it wasn't like all the other summers that we have had with gardening. It seemed like I couldn't get out to water and care for the crops fast enough. I couldn't get out to prune fast enough. I couldn't get out to check my plants fast enough, or hornworms and pests and things fast enough. It was so hot that I couldn't get out there, and I had a lot of crops to suffer. I had hornworms in the garden. I lost a lot of crops. But the things that I was able to salvage, I was able to harvest, and I was able to save some things and can and vacuum seal some things, but it was nothing compared to the previous year, my previous spring and summer, where I had a bountiful harvest. Um, so I have been thinking on what could I do differently this spring and summer as far as my watering system. I have been thinking about an irrigation system. I don't want to do necessarily a drip irrigation system. I would like to set it up as a drip irrigation system, but I don't want my water to drip all day. I would like to be able to go out, turn the water hose on, and allow the water to go through the piping and water the garden, and then me turn the water off when it's time and come back in, and then on my next scheduled watering day I do the same thing. I don't want to have that continuous water running, because I think that would run up the water bill during the summer. And so I've just been thinking on ways of that, or different things that I can do to better be able to water the garden and combat the high temperatures in the garden. I have been thinking on ways that I can be more organic. This year I do want to do more natural pesticides, insecticides, by using natural ingredients such as things around the house, such as like garlic, onion, soaks, by using making my own organic fertilizers with comfrey, or using the black tea bags and rolled oats, soaking them, by using some of the leftover crops or leaves from crops to use to fertilize my plants. So I've been thinking on that as well. This winter we had the really cold Arctic temperatures that came through. I lost some of my crops during that with the repeated freezes during the winter. During those days, I was able to harvest mustard greens, some turnip greens, some of my broccoli and cauliflower. I was able to harvest those, and then I was waiting for them to replenish so that I could harvest again from them. However, I did lose those crops the second time around. However, my cabbages and my collard greens have withstood the cold Arctic temperatures. They are still thriving out in the garden. And I did do an organic fertilizer. I did the black tea bags and some rolled oats. I soaked them for 48 hours together, and I used that as a natural organic fertilizer to fertilize them moving forward, with my goal to be more organic this year moving forward. So that's one of my things that I want to do. I do have more chickens that I have purchased, and I do look forward to purchasing more chickens. Right now I currently have 4 adult hens that are laying. They're currently molting right now, but then I have three chicks that are out with the adult hens, but they're not laying yet because they have not gotten of age yet to start laying. And so by this spring they will be ready to start laying, and then my hens will be, the 4 adult hens will be out of their molting stage, and they will all be laying. So I'll have 7 laying hens, and then I do plan on, when the temperatures warm up, of getting more chicks to add to those 7, to add into the bunch, so that I can have a better production of eggs, because I do sell some of my cartons of eggs. And I've had customers and repeat customers to come and purchase dozens of eggs from me. So I do want to have a plentiful supply so that I can sell cartons of eggs, as well as have plenty for my family use as well. So those are some things that I'm doing. And with that being said, I am planning on building a coop for my hens. Hold for just 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. So I am planning on building a coop for my hens, a bigger coop, so that I can house the 7 that I have, plus the other little few that I do plan on getting in the near future. And I do have a few more raised garden beds that I am going to put out in the garden. I have 2 already that I have already purchased. I do plan on getting about 6 more. So those 2, I do plan on getting those put together and out in the garden and get them filled up. Just getting them ready and prepared for the spring. I have started my flower seeds in the greenhouse. I've started my comfrey seeds, I've started some fennel, and I have started a tray of some herbs that I do want to add into the garden. I am going to work on today a tray of brassicas that I do want to put in one of my 6x3 garden raised beds. I'm just going to use that one bed for those brassica plants because I just want to keep my others readily and available so that when I'm ready to put out my spring crops, my warm weather crops, then I can do so. I am going to start some of my bunching onion seeds. I do have onion and garlic out that I put out in the late fall when the temperatures really got cold. So hopefully those will be continue to grow, and I'll be harvesting from those soon as they continue to grow and bulb. But I am going to start some bunching onions, and I do plan on succession sowing this year. I did some last year with some green beans and some of my squash crops. I didn't do it so much with my tomatoes and my peppers and okra plants and things like that. But I did do it with my squash, I did do it with my green beans, and I did do some with my cucumbers. But I want to get into more succession cropping. So that's some things that I would do differently this year. And I think that was it. Overall, I love gardening. I just want to be more organized, more prepared. Want to get my niche, get into my routine of doing things and knowing when to start, when to prepare, knowing what's coming up, and just get in my garden zone and the way of doing things. I encourage all of you or any one of you out there to grow your own crops, grow produce, grow your own food. It's a lot healthier, it is better all the way around. There's so many benefits of it. It's peaceful. I think you guys will really love it. You would enjoy it. And it teaches you about being self-sufficient. It teaches your children of how to be self-sufficient and how to grow their own food when things get hard, when times get hard. And that's my spill on things. I have some other videos coming up. I want to show you guys the progress of the seeds that I've already started. I do want to add on and show you guys some of my seeds, my seed collection as well, and some of the other things that I have going on in the garden. So stay tuned to more upcoming videos for this gardening season, 2023. I'm Dee, your City Girl Garden. All right, guys, I just want to give you an update on how the seeds are progressing that I've started here in the greenhouse. As you can see, these are the fennel seeds that I started last week. We do have some germination going on with about 5 of the seedlings that have emerged. I'm still waiting on the comfrey, which I do know the comfrey could take quite some time before it does start to germinate, which is fine. I'm just going to continue to water it, make sure the soil is moist, and keeping the temperatures between 70 and 80 degrees for it. This is the seed tray of the herbs that I started. As you can see here, the German and Roman chamomile, they have really outdone themselves and germinated really well. I have a summer savory that has germinated. We got some caraway up. We have some marjoram that has sprouted. And if you can see back there, we do have some tarragon that is starting to germinate as well. We're waiting on our annex to come in. And if you come on down to the next level, this is the tray of marigolds that I started. And they have germinated really well. Just about every one of the seeds that I put in germinated. This one here is the only one that does not have a seed to sprout out, but every other one does have a seed that has come up, which is okay because I could just go ahead and drop another seed in here and it will still have some time to come up. Or once I do start potting up the seeds, once they grow out a little bit more, I can separate these two and put it over in this compartment here, so I'm not really going to worry too much about it. But this is the update on the seeds that I have started. I am going to get started later this evening on my bunching onion seeds, as well as a few other seeds. I think a tray of my brassicas I'm going to get started on this evening and get them into the greenhouse. So I'll keep you guys posted and let you see the update on as I progress with getting my seeds started for my spring and summer garden. We'll talk a little bit in the upcoming days on my last frost date for this winter, and we'll talk more on the days and the weeks coming of what seeds and when I'll start those seeds. So stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, comment, give me some feedback, tell someone about my garden. Go to City Girl Gardening 803 and join me along my homesteading journey. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.